G'day Australia, hello world, I'm Cole. Welcome to this magnificent backdrop you see behind me, the Gosford Glyphs, 1 hour's north drive of Sydney on the east coast of Australia. Here today on the 22nd of the 11th, 2014, I, Colin Hayter, an independent researcher and adventurer from Currumbin on the Gold Coast, aided by my brilliant researcher, King Khufu of North Queensland, Cairns. Together, Kylie and I have compiled some new information regarding some of the greatest mysteries in the world today. So today, from this spot, we might look at some key indicators that might point towards proof in giving some answers in many different mysteries. Firstly, we might look at perhaps the Westcar Papyrus, a long way from here, but it's a mystery we're going to look at today. Let's see if we can find some indicators that can bring this from books of fiction to fact. Next, we might well look at this very site, the Gosford Glyphs. Tarred as a hoax in the 70s, and mud sticks, and it did. So today we might perhaps be able to move the Gosford Glyphs from fiction to fact. But we're not just looking at one mystery today, nor two, nor three. There's more. Today we might see if we can find this man, Didi the Magician. Didi the Magician, his legend lives on to this day. Even in 2014, the American Hall of Wizards is named the Didi Hall of Fame. Other than that, one more. Whatever happened to this guy? The oldest cold case on Earth. He went missing the year 2566. 4,580 years ago. We might just have a look at that. Lastly, we might just well have a look at this one, the discovery date. What was the discovery date here in Australia? Only days ago our Prime Minister announced to the most powerful men in the world. He said, look out the window, 200 years ago in this spot there was nothing but bush. We might have a close look at that. But first, let's start with the Westcar Papyrus. The Westcar Papyrus is a piece of literature found in the 1800s. Today it's stored in a museum in Berlin. And the Westcar Papyrus is a book, for want of a better way of putting it, a papyrus, but a collection of stories, several stories. And the stories within are not known to be about truth or about fact. It's become the holy grail of literature to find what this wonderful piece of work is, a piece of fiction or a piece of fact. And today we're going to look at some very clear indicators that will point towards proof of proving the Westcar Papyrus as written about fact. And we can start right here in the Gosford Glyphs. And it goes like this. In the Westcar Papyrus, a number of names are evident, and we might just point some out just to begin. A name Djed4, a name Didi Snedru. Didi was the wizard. Ratosis or Djeffrey. Khufu, Snefru. So in the Westcar Papyrus, it goes like this. King Khufu was very interested in magic. A family member by the name of Djed4 suggested to King Khufu that there was a wizard in the land of Djed4, a man called Didi or Djed4 from Djed4, and he could work miracles, and Khufu wanted to see that. In fact, Khufu asked Djed4 to go forward to the land of Djed4 and go and get Didi and bring him back. And he did. Now, let's compare that to what's on the wall behind me here in the Gosford Glyphs. You're in for a surprise. Watch this. here, this says, as we come down the wall, perhaps Josh, as we come down the wall, this says, we, the servants of heaven, from he who is the Pharaoh, we the scribes write these words in the watchful eye of Horus, and it says this, we came here, bad news, we came in a sunboat or solar boat to take, but get this, once again, we came here, or we were carried here, across the sea, Jeff Thor. As in the Westcar Papyrus, this is suggesting Jeff Thor came across the sea to this place. Following this over, what we see here is that he came to carry this man, Djed Snefru, the wizard, from this place. So once again, the Westcar Papyrus says Djed Thor came across the sea to this place to get Djed Snefru from the land of Djed Snefru, this place. Once again, in the Westcar Papyrus, it says Djed Thor came to get Djed Fru to take him to Egypt to see this man, the man who asked him to come. This is the king of Egypt, Khufu. So just to repeat myself, Djed Thor came across the sea to this place in a solar boat to collect Djed Fru from this place and take him to Egypt to see this man, Khufu. So already we have three names from the Westcar Papyrus. We have Djed Thor, we have Djed Snefru, the name of the address of where they were coming to. They called this Snefru. That's the name of this place. And Didi, the wizard, Djed Snefru for sure. So already, and here we have Khufu. So once again, from the Westcar Papyrus, you've got Djed Thor, Djed Snefru, in the land of Djed Snefru, and Khufu. We're going to take a walk now, just a little further down, and we'll see some more. So follow me. Okay, here we are again. Here at the Gosford Glyphs, some more names. Here again from the Westcar Papyrus, this is the name Snefru. This is, or was, the king of Egypt before Khufu. So this is saying Snefru, no longer a king of Egypt, Snefru, here Khufu, the king of Egypt, and then over here, this one's very important. This one, until today, was the rarest glyph on earth. This glyph has only been seen in one other place, only found just recently. This is the Hellenic name Ratusus, the Hellenic name of Djefri. So once again, up the other end, we had from the Westcar Papyrus, Djed Thor, who came to get Djed Snefru from the land of Djed Snefru, or Didi for short. Here we have Ratusus, or Djefri, his other name, Khufu and Snefru. So when we put this together alongside the names in the Westcar Papyrus, Djeffor, Sneferu, Didi, Rastosis or Djeffri, Khufu and Snefru, all these names written in the Westcar Papyrus. All these names here on the Gosford glyphs. And when we put them both together, you'll find we have a perfect match. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names and an address in the Westcar Papyrus, here they are at the Gosford glyphs. So this is where I'm going with this, is that the Westcar Papyrus, of course, is the holy grail of literature to work out if it's stories are fact or fiction. And it's always been a mystery that the story of Didi the magician meeting Khufu, and Khufu and the magician coming back to this land, cut off. And it's been wondered what happened, what was the end of the story. Well, here it is. It cut off because they left Egypt, they came here to Snefru, and something awful happened in the land. Unfortunately for them, and I won't explain all of this, but here they ran into a storm. Their ship hit a storm, they were killed, or some of them were killed, and here they are on the wall in solid stone, the other end of the Westcar Papyrus. So when you join the Westcar Papyrus and the Gosford glyphs together, then they match 100%. Now we'll look at another mystery. Once again, this was the Westcar Papyrus, the Gosford glyphs. We could say goodbye to those. The Gosford glyphs, no longer a myth, written in the papyrus, written here in solid stone. So Didi the magician, was he real? It would seem he was. It would seem that he too, of course, is here on the walls. And again, in this legend, they wonder, who was he? Where did he live? Well, this is where he lived. Dead Neshu, Australia, this land. This is the home and the resting place of Didi the magician. Another legend dealt with and perhaps finished. So whatever happened to this guy, Khufu, the greatest pharaoh of all time? He disappeared from history 2566. Well, of course he got on the ship and ended up here in Australia. So here, let's just look at something that might tell us about that. Just come this way, young Josh. In this place, oh no, I haven't got a pointer, have we? Bear with me. In this place, it tells something very important down here, Josh. Here, this is telling eternal, hidden behind the doors with the god Pa, the king of Egypt in his coffin in this tomb, this place. It would seem that Khufu himself was killed in the shipwreck that involved getting him here. So this isn't just the Westcar Papyrus and the Gosford cliffs coming together. This is the big shock. Khufu was killed in it. This is where he is. This is why he disappeared from history all those years ago. Some other indicators pointing towards that are, here we have it, Khufu with Khepri in this magic symbol indicating Khufu, that was common to Khufu, but then here he is, the king, hidden behind, which is obviously a tomb, so the king hidden behind, but look at this. This means smite twice. Now, what this means is, Khufu, his name was Khufu, he who smites twice. In fact, he who was interested in magic that smites twice. there's no doubt this is suggesting Khufu, along with now with the god Khepri, he's dead, taken by the serpent in the tragedy at sea, the storm in fact, in his magic in the coffin, Khufu inside, and what else we got? So anyway, I think really that's probably enough indicators to point to that. So it's pretty obvious some more work needs to be done here. But here we see some clear evidence pointing to Khufu's final resting place. So once again, the other end of the West Car papyrus, the Gosford glyphs now proven as fact, not a myth done by school children, as a hoax once said. Khufu, his resting place, where he was mummified, and it does go on to explain. What else we got there, Thomas? And we're just moving along. Thomas? I've lost it. Oh, that's right. One last mystery, I think. Now we can look at this, that discovery date. Is it really true that Australia was discovered in 1770, or is this another myth, another piece of fiction? Well, as we look about us here, once again, we can see that last recorded Australia was a sovereign nation already dealing with the countries around. Snefru came here twice before. Khufu came here because he knew Djed Sneru, or Didi the Wizard, lived in this place. So I've got to say, on behalf of the First Nation people, this isn't true either. That's fiction as well. Australia wasn't discovered, invaded perhaps, but not discovered. So I think that pretty well covers it. I think what we see here today once again is some clear indicators towards setting proof into the fact that this place is real, and I think that settles that. So, hello Australia, hello world, welcome back. I'm Cole, and welcome back to this magnificent backdrop that we visited back in the 11th month in last year, 2014. And so it's time to revisit here at the glyphs. And on this time what we're going to do is I'm going to go in a bit more detail and let's read them. Previously I didn't do that, did that on purpose. The idea was to, of course, dumb it down to make it at least believable. So here's an opportunity, we won't get this twice, so we'll just go fast now, right from the bottom. Okay, so what we're looking down here, Ben? Okay. So down here what we're seeing is, we've got this, we've got we the servants of the king's god, her words, the ruler, girl, chief, the priest, scribes, under the watchful eye of Horus, write these words. Bad news. We came here across the sea, Thor, to this place in a solar boat, not a sunboat, to carry empty basket across the sea. We passed the fish god for this place, part of Egypt, the fish god, to get this man, Djed Snefru, from the land of Djed Snefru, this place, child of Ra, Egyptian. We, all of us, in this place, part of Egypt, in the moon god Thoth, the place for Didi and the Haru, to take Djed Snefru, the Egyptian, in goodwill, the chief of this land, to meet the king of Egypt, the girl Khufu. I've moved down till I've been. Okay. Down here, Ben. Here, the god Amun. Here, the god Re. The Re shining on Amun, this becomes the god Umun-Ra. Umun-Ra. This is his time tool. Umun-Ra in this place, summoned by Djefthor, here to stop time. Over here, along with Khufu, the purest, 100 souls Egyptian. The most efficient, the brightest and bravest across the sea, in here eternal with the God King of Egypt. Down here, the god Ta, the god looking after those who are dead, the god of the underworld, the mummy god Ta, placed underneath in the shade to be not in the direct light. This god can't exist in the sun, hence the roof above our head. The god Zeth, a curse, watching the door, the sign for death. This god is protecting all these people from anything at all. The god Zeth, evil god, walking down. Okay, moving to here. Somebody's dead. This is heaven. This is Horus in heaven, small one. Small Horus in heaven means very bad. Somebody's dead. This person here, this is age, giving you age. This is a human. This is in spirit. This person is dead. This is bad news, not good news at all. This person now, protected by the sitting god with the moon, put inside the mountains, looked after by the god Kepri, joined with Ra, offered to heaven the gods, soul taken. So once again, this person of this age is past, they're dead. This isn't good. Looked after now by the local god here with the moon, put inside of the mountains, guarded by Kempri, joined with Ra, offered to heaven and the gods, the soul taken. Down here now, Stickman. This one here, pseudo prince. Hard to explain, but that's what we're going to call him right now. So the pseudo prince. So this one now dead is one with Ra. They are joined. So this person is dead and they are one with Ra. So one with Ra, taken in the chaos. With great hard work, we turned around in the storm, and the royal ship, this ship, turned over. Go back to your left, Ben. Over here we've got the next ship turned over. The date is the Venus star, the B star, coming over the horizon in the east coast of Australia, 28th of June. 28th of June or similar, the ship turns upside down. The king god is in trouble, big trouble. We offer praise. Too late. Sunk. The word sunk. Sunk. Slaughtered. The second ship upside down. The king ship. Back over here. The king god, now in heaven, he's dead already. Horus in heaven, journeyed. This is to journey, and now it's about to go on a journey. Protect her journey, Horus, under the southern sky. Horus of gold in heaven. She's dead. She's on her way to heaven. almost. Not yet. Over here now we've got God King, the God King. So this is the king. This has a flail. This lady is dead, but she's still the king for 70 days. The God King, the sitting king, still rules. The brightest taken, placed into and carried, offered into the tomb, the back of the tomb, into her coffin with true truth, watched over by the sitting God that is there for that, and which is Ta, the God Ta. Underneath, a little bit further along, so once again taken, placed in, but importantly here, protected by the Haru, the Aboriginals of Australia, protected by the Aboriginals of Australia, and protected by the sitting God. What was that thing, Ben?
Not sure, no, battery's alright.
Hey?
It's all good.
Okay, more. The God, the King God now dead, the King God of Egypt, lying on a side. The man-like one. This is the image not for man, man-like one. This is the man-like one. The God King, the man-like one, is put inside the mountains, in the stone, down deep here. This means to get your belongings later. What's yours? What's yours? So for this king, what's hers for the God King who's been put in, she's dead, still the king, because she is not going to get her pyramid on the horizon. The pyramid of the horizon, the name of her pyramid. She's not going to the God King to get her things, the pyramid of horizon. Not good. With magic, her assistants tried, but she's dead, didn't work, they couldn't save her. Buried deep, deep, really deep. Her body broken under the ground. Not good for her Ba spirit, part of the spirit. Not good for her Ba. Her Ba cut off from her house on the horizon, not for him, or not for her. So not for her. She's cut off, and she will never see her house on the horizon, on the Mur. The house, of course, is the Pyramid of Cheops. Because she went on a journey from her land of Egypt, not for the ruler to ever go home. She's cut off. So once again, I'm going to go back a bit there when you get your feet, Billy. Back we go. Not good for her Ba. She's cut off from her pyramid on the horizon, in the pyramid in Mur, because she went on a journey from her land, from Egypt. Not good for the ruler, never to get home. This is homeland. She's never going to get home. Now we'll just go back over here, Ben, and we might just go to here. So here now this gets really complicated, because here it tells what happened next. And what happened next was, this is suggesting here, this says eternal life. This is the Ankh as you know it, you know, and this is saying says, so it's saying eternal life, but it's saying the eternal life to the resurrected one. She's not lying on the bed, so it's not saying eternal life in heaven. This is resurrected, eternal life to the resurrected one, the man-like one, and we know Khufu, this is her, the man-like one, but this is important. This is the key, inverted key shape for the glyph Khonsu. So this is saying eternal life to the resurrected man-like one, Khonsu. Done in the right way in spirit, boldly done in the right way, interned in this place, the house of Ta in spirit, placed into he or she, her Ka, placed into, protect the sitting God King. She's still the ruler even though she's dead. And the others, this is interesting, and the others, so this is talking about the others, so protect the sitting king and all the others, so there's many of them here that were killed. This is the god Apophis that has killed them in a storm. This is why they're all dead. So protect the king and all the others from this. So now I'm going to go back again, Ben, if you can. So this is where we were, eternal life, okay. So now we're just going up, and here what we see is the God King protected by Kemfri. The God King still ruling, so she's dead. Protected by Kemfri automatically means you are dead. He wouldn't be protecting you unless you are dead. So she's dead. So who's dead? She's dead. So protect the God King Kemfri, the ruler of Egypt, Khufu. And now here she's placed in a family lineage or tributary. And the idea is to give this some royal tributary. So what we see is now there's Khufu, she's dead. Now we have mentioned who her father was. They were very exact to tell who you are. Her father, and over here, her brother. So what we've got is Khufu being protected, the ruler of Egypt, still alive, still dead but still is, Khufu. Her father, Sneferu, child of Ra. So he too was a child of God, child of Ra, ruler of Egypt. Importantly here we've got round that Sneferu, a child of Ra, came around to this place 2 times, as in the West Cape Papyrus, of course, telling the same thing. Sneferu came to Australia 2 times. Over here, now continuing the royal lineage on, this is Ratosis, or the Hellenic name for Djeffrey. He was the next ruler, so this is showing the royal line. And this glyph, of course, was never seen in any other place, only here at the Gosford Glyphs and above the Khufu boat in Giza, only discovered recently. So this is vital, you know. So once again, a royal lineage. And then up here, look at this. This is magnificent. And what we're seeing here is, if we go up higher, we'll use a laser for this one. So here we're seeing the God King in the house of Ta, Taken, the Egyptian, and but not the Egyptian so much, but this is Snef. So they're talking about Sneferu's daughter. And because Sneferu is mentioned once, I'm not going to write it all, we're just going to use a piece of his name. So once again, the God King taken to the house of spirit, the tomb here, Sneferu's daughter and the ruler, Khufu. And of course, back down here, here is Khufu. So they're using again just one glyph to refer, because it's already been mentioned. So the ruler Khufu. And here, this is really important. What this is saying is here that we're saying that this here is eternal to Khufu. So again, mentioning Khufu, but not eternal as in like eternal afterlife or whatever, but this is eternal life. But here, this is the mummy god for, once again, Conus. And Conus, once again, if we follow that down, is mentioned here again. So here she is, that's her glyph name, an inverted key, and follow it up again. Very much like Ta, but doesn't have the necklace. This is Conus. So once again, Khufu died, but then was resurrected into this goddess here on this place at the Gosford Glyphs. Just click it off, Ben.